I think a lot of people are waking up. You know, there's that line, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, which George W. Bush rewrote to be, fool me twice, point is, you're not going to fool me again. And people are waking up to this, slowly but surely. Nothing like nationwide riots and statue toppling to wake you up to a fraud media establishment that keeps pushing fake news. So this guy, I don't even know his name. He's just a random citizen. It's an ordinary fella in Ventura County, walked up during a council meeting and gave his elected officials a piece of his mind.
After waiting for 2 hours and now getting 2 minutes, I'll get right to the point. This board is pretending that for the last 3 months, your emperor, Dr. Levin, has not been against a mask declaration. Now, all of a sudden, we're pretending that masks are everything, even forcing speakers to use masks. I would like the board to take a position. Was Dr. Levin wrong for those 3 months? And if he was this wrong, why has he not been removed? Why has he not been fired for being so catastrophically wrong? Or do you not really believe he was wrong? You're just wearing these masks because it is a signal of your great virtue. Because for the last 3 months, we have not worn them, and Ventura County has done outstandingly well and continues to do outstandingly well because we are not Los Angeles, we are not New York City, we never were going to be any of those things.
Never were going to be, despite predictions to the contrary. And consider his main point here on the masks. Because what the scientific establishment and the media and the elected officials say is, yeah, we got something wrong, but now we're right. But they're not stopping there. They're saying, look, we once said something, don't wear masks. And we insisted that all of you follow our advice as though it were the gospel truth. And now we've completely changed our mind, 180-degree flip. And we are once again insisting that you follow us as though we were telling you the gospel truth. And we'll actually fine you and punish you if you don't follow our directions exactly. That's the problem. People say you're a science denier. Well, what am I denying? Am I denying the science that said don't wear a mask, or am I denying the science that's saying do wear a mask? Science denier, as though it were a religion or something that you hold to even more closely. And if what they're telling us now is true, that if you walk out without a mask, you're killing grandma, then we sure do need to fire the people who told us not to wear masks, right? We have to, because you're killing grandma if you don't wear one. So the people who told us not to wear one, they got to go. We should maybe prosecute them, shouldn't we? Or maybe they don't believe it. Or maybe they, like that CNN reporter who asked a question of President Trump in the briefing room, the minute that she thought the cameras were off, maybe they take the mask off. She didn't realize one camera was still on, caught her doing that. Maybe like that MSNBC reporter who came out wearing the mask and he said, people here aren't wearing masks out on the beach. And he was shaming everybody. And then one guy walks up to him and he says, yeah, your cameraman's not wearing a mask either. He said, that's true. My cameraman's not wearing a mask. Yeah, maybe they don't really believe it. Maybe the mask is slipping from the narrative being pushed by the mainstream media. So the guy makes a great point there. Then he goes on and makes a point about hospitalizations. They tell us that the cases are skyrocketing. Well, is that really the whole story?
We now are panicked over 51 total hospitalizations in a county with 8 hospitals. Can you people do math? Can you please do basic math and understand where we are on this? This is not a crisis. You, however, have created one. You, in an effort to try to prevent all death, when we've had 43 deaths, have now ended all relevant life. And you should all be ashamed of yourselves. And this will never be forgotten. Ever be forgotten. You will all be held accountable eventually, in this life or the next. You all better hope there is no hell, because when you die, that's where you're going. And guess what? You're not going to be dying of COVID either.
Oh, man, I love this guy. I love him almost as much, maybe more actually, as I love that gun couple that was going around the internet, which we will get to in a second. That's right. People are talking about the cases exploding. Well, what about the death rate? Is the death rate holding? If the death rate is holding, and if the number of deaths is not exploding, then we seem to be in a decent place, right? Because you've told us that there's no vaccine. So the only thing we can do is not overwhelm the hospital system. Frankly, even if the death rate were, or not the death rate, but if the number of deaths were increasing, there's still like nothing we can do according to the scientific establishment, right? Because we still don't have a vaccine, and the vaccine's not going to give us herd immunity, according to Dr. Fauci. The media here, the people who are pushing this, when I say the media, I include the political and scientific establishment because they're all one thing. They're all together. Fauci is on CNN, and CNN is setting the narrative, and CNN is the Cuomo family, right? The CNN is Chris Cuomo, is Andrew Cuomo. It's all one thing, pushing one left-wing narrative. They have no credibility. This video is sponsored by BlinkSale, the revolutionary invoicing software for contractors and small businesses. Spend less time billing and more time making bank with BlinkSale. Get a free trial at the link in the video description.